The lack of upsets had made these rankings a little stale. Luckily, the hoops world obliged with a week and weekend of chaos. 7 teams in the top 10 lost. After I proudly carried the torch for Texas Tech to charge up the rankings, they proceeded to lose both games last week. The Red Raiders fall out of this poll, as does Big 12 counterpart Kansas. So here's the new crop of 10 in our latest rankings. Number 10, Houston. The Cougars rejoined the ranks after a couple of those other teams stumbled, in large part due to their defense, which is holding opponents just 60 points per game, the 8th best mark in the country. Houston withstood an ugly game on Saturday that featured 62 fouls called and 76 attempted free throws to win their 3rd straight. Number 9, Kentucky. Everyone seemed to write off the Wildcats after the blowout loss to Duke to begin the season, but Kentucky has found its rhythm in conference play. 4 straight wins since a loss at Alabama, and the young Wildcats held on in a hostile environment on Saturday despite blowing a 17-point lead to beat a ranked Auburn team. Number 8, Virginia Tech. Strong defenses are the trend in these rankings, and the Hokies have a top 5 unit that has led to wins in 10 of their last 11 games, the lone loss coming at Virginia. But VT was able to bounce back from that with an 87-point performance against Wake Forest. Now, they have allowed 2 of their highest outputs against their last 2 opponents, so we'll see if the defense holds throughout ACC play. Number 7, Nevada. The Wolfpack are 18-1, and despite a poor offensive showing against Air Force, we're still able to grab a 15-point win. Now, Nevada is far and away better than any of their remaining conference foes. The one loss came in the Fortress of the Pit at New Mexico, and the Wolfpack get the Lobos at home on February 9th. Number 6, Gonzaga. A similar situation for the Bulldogs. They've got more talent than any team in the West Coast Conference and should not lose the rest of the way. Now, perhaps inflated by the quality of competition, the Zags offense is averaging over 92 points per game, the 2nd highest in the country. Number 5, into the top 5, where it starts to get interesting. Michigan State moves up to number 5 on the strength of a long winning streak and some impressive road wins. And the Spartans went into Nebraska on Saturday and ended the Cornhuskers' 20-game home win streak behind a career-high 29 points from Cassius Winston. They also held Nebraska to a season-low 32% from the floor, and they're doing all this without star freshman Joshua Langford, who's dealt with a foot injury for most of the year. Number 4, fellow Big Ten counterpart Michigan. The Wolverines slipped from the top spot after falling victim to the happening. That would be Wisconsin's Ethan Happ, who takes the Perry Ellis/Aaron Kraft title as the longest tenured player in college basketball. Now, Michigan's terrific defense held up despite Happ's strong showing. The offense just couldn't hit anything from the three-point line and shooting just 5 for 11 from the free throw line. Now, perhaps chalk it up to the pressure of maintaining an unbeaten season as Michigan now sits 17-1 on the year. Number 3, Virginia. Another unbeaten fell on Saturday. This one a little more understandable, going into Duke and falling by just 2 points. Virginia had its chances, but their normally good three-point shooters combined to go only 3 for 17 from behind the arc. The 17 points are the most that UVA has given up all year, but Virginia still sits as the best defense in the country, allowing just under 53 points per game. Number 2, Duke. The Blue Devils would certainly be number 1 if not for a home loss to Syracuse 6 days ago. Duke allowed 95 points to a Cuse team that had scored just 59 at home a few days ago, but credit to the talented Blue Devil freshman who responded with a massive effort in a win against Virginia. Zion Williamson had 27 points, 9 rebounds, and the dunk of the year, while R.J. Barrett played all 40 minutes and scored a career-high 30 points. And at number 1, Tennessee. Rick Barnes has his team rolling as the Vols were the lone team in the top 5 in our rankings to not lose this past week. Tennessee is 16-1, and after holding off a pesky Alabama team, avoids the setback that plagued every other contender. Now, Tennessee has won 12 straight, and they don't have to face another ranked team until February 16th when they head on the road to play Kentucky. They might be at the top of our poll for a while, but hey, stranger things have happened before.
Tonight's NCAA Basketball Power Rankings are brought to you by IHOP.